And I will say to the Commissioner, officers and members of the Guyana Police Force that you must continue on this trajectory. There are some key issues that we have to and must address. And those issues we will address with the right mix and balance of resources, because they can only be addressed if we have not only the financial investment or the infrastructure investment, but the investment of our human capital to match the physical changes and to match what is required in the economy to take us forward. But as I speak to you today, at this moment, we are about to sign an agreement with the Guyana Public Service Union. In that agreement, the public servant will benefit this year, retroactive from January, from a 10% increase in salary. This 10% increase in salary, which is retroactive from 1st of January 2024, will amount to 35% cumulative salary increase over the last 4 years. 35% cumulative salary increase over the last 4 years. Further, we've been able to agree with the union that 2025 will also see an increase in the salary of public servants of 8%. So we'll sign a two-year agreement with 10% this year, 8% next year, and that of course will take that cumulative increase much higher. In addition, the government of Guyana, understanding that prosperity must come at every level, and understanding that in the public service, intervention must be made, and as we committed in our manifesto, and we committed as a government, we will make the necessary adjustment to always have that parity in the system. So with effect from July 1st, 2024, in order to address salary disparities, we are also making the following adjustments. Public servants on GS 1 to 6 with a minimum of 4 years of service within the current scale will be moved to the midpoint of that scale, resulting in an increase as much as 30% for some public servants. Secondly, I see one former commissioner, Mr. Floyd, smiling, and I think he is thinking, why did I leave the system so early? Secondly, public servants on GS 1 to 6 with a minimum of 8 years of service within their current scale will be moved to the maximum of that scale, resulting in an increase of as much as 26% for some public servants. Public servants currently at a minimum of scale 7 to 8, upon attaining 4 years in their current scale, will be paid an additional monthly amount equivalent to nominal difference between the minimum and midpoint of GS6, resulting in an increase as much as 11% for some public servants. Effective from the 1st of January 2025, the introduction of qualification allowances for persons who have furthers while on the job. Holders of ACCA will receive an additional $15,000 allowance monthly. Holders of a master's degree will receive an additional $22,000 monthly. And holders of a doctoral degree will receive an additional $32,000 monthly. This is in keeping with our commitment of incentivizing education, incentivizing training, and the development of our human capital. Additionally, a $5,000 annual increase in uniform allowance for current eligible categories of health workers, and also a $10,000 increase for public servants, resulting in an increase of as much as 77% in this allowance. A housing allowance of $35,000 monthly for public servants on secondment, transport to hinterland location, effective from the 1st of January 2025. Station allowance of $8,000 monthly for public servants serving in certain riverine and hinterland areas, effective from the 1st of January 2025, resulting in an additional increase of as much as 300% in this station allowance. A risk allowance increase of 50%, an increase in motor car and travel allowance, and a 104% increase in motor car and travel allowance. The granting of 100 duty-free concessions per annum to the position of staff nurses and above, with priority given to persons with the longest years of service and those who have never benefited from a duty-free concession. This would ensure that the criteria of those who are granted the duty-free also serve the time, which is 5 years and 3 years, so it is an incentive for the retention of our nurses also. Of course, the continuous awarding of scholarships is a continued benefit to the public service. So as you can see from this announcement, this government commitment to the people of our country, to every category of the people of our country, is unquestionable. Our commitment to what we said in the manifesto is not only unquestionable, but has been surpassed in every single instance. And as men and women in uniform, the people out there must be able to trust you. Trust you with their security, trust you with their lives, trust you with the safety of their communities and families. And so too, must you and the people out there be able to trust your government. You must be able to trust your government to do the right thing, trust your government to uphold democracy, trust your government to uphold the rule of law, trust your government to implement the promises and commitments they make when they seek your votes. And I can say that this government has demonstrated that we have not only earned your trust, but we have stayed committed to your trust, and we have fulfilled all that we promised. And this is a season where the color red is always beautiful. You should extend the season all the way to next year. So my friends, even in your own line of duty, you know, when we had our first conversation, I said that we have to do something about the conditions under which you're working. We have to fix the police stations. You can't give good customer service if you're in a bad customer area. And for those who cannot see the enormous changes in the physical infrastructure of our police stations, our service area across the country, I say to you, please, we have a program to check your eyes. enormous changes. And these changes would have had an impact on attitude at work, on delivery of service, on the level of effectiveness through the human factor of environmental impact. But what I want to ask you as officers now, and I've asked the Commissioner, is to have a merit system to hold officers accountable to these facilities. Because when you are stationed at a facility as officer in charge, you are also responsible for the assets under that facility. And you should take pride for the assets under that facility. And part of performance evaluation must be how we upkeep those facilities. We must demonstrate the type of changes that we want to see in the society. The way we plan the environment around the police station. The way we support community initiatives. Today, we're investing in a state-of-the-art, world-class police academy that will be linked to some of the finest institutions internationally. An academy that will be training the best in the region. We have just concluded an agreement to have not just an expert, the former head of the Criminal Bureau Investigation, CBI, in India, the former head, to be leading our effort in the establishment of a forensic school and fully operationalize the forensic lab here in Guyana to serve all of the region. These are not simple investments. And we have already established that the forensic lab will be there for all of the Caribbean. We now will have this asset with a human potential for all of the Caribbean. When you look at what the Commissioner said, and this is a period of Thanksgiving. Christmas is a reflection on giving thanks. When you receive the gift of life, Pastor Finlay, the gift of life to ensure abundance of time. And the Commissioner would have outlined that in the last 3 years, 3.5 years, almost 2,000 of your ranks received some form of training or full scholarship. I see Mr. Vibos here. We had lots of conversation when he was in the Guyana Police Force. And he would tell you, there were days when we celebrate 5 scholarships, 10 scholarships. Let us not take these things for granted. And you as officers must ensure that the younger ones who are receiving these scholarships, a constable today can do a degree, that they understand the value of this. Because sometimes when you get things too easily, you don't understand the value of it. You don't appreciate the value of it. And if you don't understand and appreciate the value of something, you'll never be in a position to give thanks. you will never be in a position to give thanks. So you, as officers, must let the ranks under your supervision understand how important these benefits are. Understand the value of it. The equipment for the Guyana Police Force, whether it's vehicles, motorcycles, we have now established a full marine section with an elaborate asset set. And the intention here by the Guyana Police Force is to set up a full marine wing. The commanding officer, because part of the strategic security architecture is to utilize our waterways in the fight against crime. So there is much for us to be thankful for. This year tested also our physical infrastructure and our human resource asset base, because we had so many international forums and activities this year. We had so many high-profile visits this year that many times our strength was tested, and it's not going to get lesser in any shape or form, because we have a full agenda ahead of us. And the agenda is to build a strong, sustainable, resilient, secure Guyana, in which the prosperity of our people and country must be reflected in the quality of life. And quality of life is the quality of comfort you can sleep in. Quality of life is the ease through which you can walk the streets. Quality of life is the dignity through which we live with each other. Quality of life is the respect through which we afford each other. Quality of life is a quality government that you can trust. And the People's Progressive Party civic government, who I'm honored to lead, has demonstrated that we are a quality government that you can trust, that you can rely on. These are foundational pillars. As men and women in uniform, all we ask is for you to do the right thing and do the right thing every single day. To always stand on the right side of integrity. Always stand on the right side of the rule of law. Always stand on the right side of dignity. Always stand on the right side of democracy. Always stand on the right side of protecting your country. That is all that is required. And once you do that, you will always be recognized and you will always be ahead of the crowd. Always. I've seen responsibility placed on the shoulders of young men and women in the Guyana Police Force over the last few years. And I've looked at these young men and women grow with pride. I've seen young Amerindian brothers and sisters across this country in the uniform, wearing it with pride and serving the community. I was telling AB when we were in Letem more than 90% of the men and women in uniform were from the villages themselves. That is a tremendous achievement. It is a tremendous achievement. So we are going into the future stronger than we were. The unity of the Guyana Police Force is what will make us win every single day. There is a reason why you wear a uniform. There is a reason why you wear similarity of uniform by your rank. There is a reason why you're identified by your uniform. Because your uniform is not about an individual. Your uniform is a representation of a collective. That is why you wear a uniform. Because you are part of a different family. You are part of a different system. You are part of a unified identity, identified by the uniform you wear. We must understand this. The strength of each of us in the uniform is a collective strength of all of us under the single uniform, the umbrella of the Guyana Police Force. So I say to you, there is absolutely no reason to run ahead of one another. You will win in a bigger way when you run ahead together. And I'm assured, and I'm convinced, that we have enough to run ahead together. I thank you. God bless you. Happy holidays. And thank you for your service to this beautiful country. I want to thank you, all our men and women in uniform, especially our officers here today. Thank you on behalf of a grateful people for your enormous service. Our former commissioner, deputy commissioners, commanders, we thank you also for your service, and I know all of you. And look, just take an example of all those who made a positive impact. Look at their lives today. They are well accounted for and highly sought after. I thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Very strong words, Mr. President. We run together, we survive together, and we come out victorious together. Thank you, sir. Words of unity, peace, and love. Let us give the President a round of applause. At this time, this brings us to the end of our... Oh, yes. What? I have to pay a fine here today. I have to pay a fine.
I will have one drink.
This car cost us the lighter moments. Where's Mr. Singh? Oh, I thought that I would have to transfer the Singh to you. I thought you were here.